Welcome to the deep dive. We dig into our sources to pull out the really interesting stuff for you.
Yeah, that's the plan.
And today, well, we're diving into a First Post Africa report. It's about the surprisingly colorful nicknames given to Kenyan President William Ruto.
Oh, yeah. It's quite something. The range is wide.
Right. So our mission today is basically to unpack the stories and maybe some of the, humor behind these names. Just a quick look at Kenyan public perception through this lens.
Exactly. It's like a kind of popular commentary, isn't it? The first post transcript we looked at really traces how these names reflect the public's view shifting over time.
And yes, some are genuinely funny, have to admit.
Definitely some chuckle-worthy ones in there.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. The early nicknames, the ones that seemed pretty positive, or at least were part of his whole brand.
Right.
First up, Hustler. What's the story there?
Well, that was absolutely central, wasn't it? His whole image. The self-made man came from nothing, overcame the odds, and First Post notes how much that resonated. It gave hope, you know, especially to Kenyans feeling like they were struggling too. He gets it, was the idea.
And then there's Chicken Seller, which is just such a specific visual thing.
It really is.
Apparently from his childhood selling chickens back in Sukhoi.
Yeah.
It really pushed that man of the people angle hard during the campaign, didn't it?
Absolutely. Like, see, no political dynasty here, no inherited wealth, just a guy who knew how to sell poultry. It was a very powerful contrast to, the established political families. Helped him connect, definitely. Played up the idea he was one of them.
But as the First Post report goes on to show, the vibe kind of changes, controversies pop up, and suddenly we're hearing Arab Mashamba, son of farms. That's quite a leap from selling chickens, isn't it?
It is a big leap, and this one came up after those controversies about his landholdings. Big tracts of land.
Right. Wasn't there a court order about like 100 acres or something?
Yeah, that's mentioned. So the irony is pretty thick, The former chicken seller now linked to these huge farms.
It definitely suggests maybe a crack in that original hustler narrative.
I think so. First Post kind of implies that. It raises questions, doesn't it, about how authentic that initial image was perceived to be later on.
Then things get even sharper. Zakayo,
Oof. Yeah.
the greedy tax collector from the Bible. That's not subtle.
Not at all. And First Post links this directly to the tax hikes his government brought in, which were really unpopular.
You get the sense people felt more than just unhappy, right? Like
Yeah.
betrayed, maybe.
Exactly. That biblical name, Zakayo, it carries a lot of weight. It's a really strong metaphor for feeling, well, exploited by taxes.
Yeah.
And the report mentions protests, too, so it clearly touched a nerve.
Right.
Real anger there.
Okay, and then this one's kind of amazing. El Chapo.
Huh. Yeah, that one definitely stands out.
I mean, the origin is almost mundane, right? His promise about chapati-making machines for schools.
Yeah.
Because Chapo is the Kenyan word for chapati.
Right. A seemingly normal, maybe even well-intentioned policy promise.
But the nickname, comparing him to, that El Chapo, the drug lord, it's just, wow, unexpected.
It's dark humor, definitely. But it says something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About how maybe public trust had eroded. That even a simple promise gets twisted into this kind of satire.
Yeah, it suggests maybe policy itself was getting overshadowed by these, perceptions and nicknames. Cynicism setting in.
That's a good way to put it.
So we've really seen this arc, haven't we? From the hopeful hustler and chicken seller to the land-related Arab Mashamba, the angry Zakayo, and then the almost absurd El Chapo. It's quite a journey in public feeling.
It really is. And these nicknames, the way First Post Africa lays them out, they give you this incredibly concise and, often funny snapshot of that changing relationship between the public and the president.
They capture these key moments and feelings in a way that maybe formal news reports don't always get across.
Exactly. It's the people's shorthand.
So for you, the listener, what's the takeaway here? Well, these names, they might seem lighthearted sometimes, but they actually offer a pretty real glimpse into that dynamic between a leader and the people they govern.
Yeah, absolutely. The sheer variety of nicknames for President Ruto is fascinating. It's like a running commentary, witty at times, sharp at others, on the whole government-citizen conversation in Kenya.
Okay, final thought to leave you with. Given how nicknames can really capture the public mood, what do all these different monikers taken together tell us about Kenya's political climate right now?
What hopes, what disappointments are kind of baked into those names, something to chew on.
Indeed. Thanks for diving deep with us.